Are you feeling stuck in your journey, waiting for a breakthrough that seems so far out of reach? What if I told you that the very trials and discomforts you're facing are part of the preparation for the blessings that are on the way? In this video, we're diving deep into the powerful, divine process that prepares you to receive the answers you've been praying for. From building your capacity and embracing the uncomfortable training to following God's instructions, every step you take now is shaping you for something greater. Don't miss out on understanding how to strengthen your faith, trust in God's timing, and embrace the lessons He's teaching you. By the end of this video, you'll see why your waiting isn't in vain, and how you can actively prepare for the blessings that are closer than you think. Watch till the end. You don't want to miss this life-changing revelation. Before we start, I'd appreciate your support. If you like the video, please subscribe and hit the bell to stay updated on future lessons from God. The delay you are facing in your life is not a reflection of punishment from God. It is, instead, a powerful indication that He is preparing something far greater than you can imagine. You must understand this vital truth. The longer the wait, the more incredible the outcome. This delay is not a roadblock. It's part of a sacred process of preparation, a period where God is ensuring that you are fully ready to receive the blessings that are waiting for you. He is not withholding your blessings. He is simply making sure that when they come, you can handle them with grace, wisdom, and an open heart. God doesn't want you to mishandle the abundance He has in store for you. He wants you to step into a season where you can embrace and sustain His blessings in a way that will transform not only your life but the lives of those around you. So, how does God prepare you for the fulfillment of your prayers, and how can you recognize the signs of His work in your life? One of the clearest and most profound signs that God is preparing you for your answered prayers is the overwhelming stir of forgiveness in your heart. Unforgiveness is a dangerous and toxic barrier that can block the very answers to your prayers. It is a chain that binds your heart, preventing you from receiving the grace and blessings that God is trying to pour into your life. When God is about to bless you in ways beyond your wildest dreams, He often first works on your heart by stirring within you the spirit of forgiveness. This is not merely a suggestion. It is a necessary step in the process of your transformation. Forgiveness isn't just a matter of letting go of someone else's offenses. It's about creating space within your own heart for God's blessings to flow freely and abundantly. Unforgiveness, if allowed to take root, creates a deep bitterness that can fester and poison your soul. This bitterness not only hampers your relationship with others, but also makes it incredibly difficult to experience God's presence or to receive the gifts He has lovingly prepared for you. When God brings to the surface the need for you to forgive, it is a powerful signal that something greater is coming. Though forgiveness can be incredibly difficult, and the pain of letting go of past hurts can feel overwhelming, God is asking you to release these negative feelings so that He can fill you with His grace, peace, and abundance. Forgiveness is not a sign of weakness but of strength. God is asking you to release those burdens so that He can fill you with His love and blessings. He cannot pour new blessings into a heart that is already full of anger, resentment, and unforgiveness. Luke 5 verses 36 to 38 offers a beautiful illustration of this. Jesus speaks about the need for new wine to be poured into new wineskins, for the old wineskins cannot hold the new wine because they would burst under pressure. This analogy perfectly mirrors the work that God is doing in your life. He is preparing new blessings for you, but before He can pour them in, He needs you to become a new vessel, one that is ready, willing, and able to receive all that He has in store for you. Holding on to unforgiveness keeps you shackled to the past, to the pain and injustice others have inflicted upon you. This keeps you from moving forward, from stepping into the magnificent future that God has planned for you. When the hurtful memories and thoughts of those who have wronged you keep surfacing, it is a divine invitation from God to forgive, to release the chains that bind you, and to move forward into the freedom and blessings that await you. The longer you cling to anger, bitterness, and unforgiveness, the more you delay the beautiful plans God has for your life. God is not asking you to forget the hurt immediately, but He is asking you to stop allowing those negative emotions to dominate your thoughts and your heart. At some point, you will need to let go of the weight that is holding you down. The act of forgiveness opens your heart, allowing God to touch you in ways that will make you ready for the powerful blessings He has been preparing for you. Matthew 18 verses 19 to 22 beautifully connects forgiveness and prayer. Jesus teaches that when you have an issue with someone, you should go to them and reconcile before bringing your prayer to God. This reveals just how closely forgiveness is tied to receiving answers from God. When you forgive, you create an atmosphere where your prayers can be answered. Peter asked Jesus how many times we should forgive, and Jesus responded with the radical instruction to forgive 70 times 7. In other words, forgiveness should have no limits and no boundaries. It should flow as freely as the grace that God extends to you. Forgiveness is not just a release for the person who wronged you. It is a release for you as well, as you free yourself from the heavy burden of anger and resentment, making room in your heart for God's abundant blessings. Forgiveness does not necessarily mean that you must restore a close relationship with those who have hurt you. It does not mean you have to invite the person back into your life in the same capacity. God asks you to forgive and to make peace, but that doesn't always require reconciliation or the continuation of a close relationship. The power of forgiveness is so great that Jesus emphasizes it once again in Matthew 5 verses 23 to 24. He tells us that if we are offering a gift to God and we remember that we have an issue with someone, we must first reconcile with them before offering our gift to God. This underscores just how important forgiveness is in the process of receiving answers to prayer. If there is unforgiveness in your heart, God cannot fully receive your offering or your prayers. It is only after you take steps to reconcile that you prepare your heart to receive the full measure of blessings God has for you. Alongside the spirit of forgiveness, another powerful sign that God is preparing you for your answered prayers is when He guides you to pray in alignment with His will. When your prayers begin to reflect God's heart and align with His will, you can be confident that your answers are close. God will always receive His full attention, and when your prayers mirror that will, you are positioned to receive your answers in His perfect timing. Before God gives you what you have asked for, He works on refining your motives, ensuring that your desires are aligned with His divine plan. The journey of waiting, praying, forgiving, and aligning with God's will is not always easy, but it is a necessary and transformative process. When stepped through this process, you will find yourself standing in the fullness of God's promises, with blessings beyond what you have ever imagined, ready to flow into your life. Many prayers remain unanswered because the motivations behind them are not aligned with God's heart. Often, people approach prayer with desires that are rooted in selfishness, personal gain, or misguided intentions. In such cases, God, in His infinite wisdom, will not grant these requests. Instead, He will redirect your heart, guiding you to align your will with His perfect purposes. This redirection is not a rejection but rather a vital part of the preparation process, a loving refinement that prepares you to receive the true blessings He has in store. As you earnestly pray, you may find God gently shifting your desires, prompting you to ask for things that reflect His will and honor His plan for your life. In this transformative journey, the Holy Spirit plays an indispensable role. The Holy Spirit is not merely a comforter but a divine helper who enables you to pray in harmony with God's will. There will be moments when you find yourself lost for words, uncertain of how to pray or what to ask for. During these times, the Holy Spirit intervenes, interceding on your behalf with deep groanings, as described in Romans 8 verse 26. These silent cries of the Spirit transcend human language, communicating directly with God's heart, ensuring that your prayers are shaped according to His perfect plan. The Holy Spirit not only directs your prayers but also transforms your heart, guiding you to pray with the mind and heart of Christ. This divine partnership with the Holy Spirit is why it is crucial to surrender to His guidance. When you yield to the Spirit, your prayers shift from self-centered petitions to profound requests that mirror God's heart for your life. As you submit your desires to His wisdom, you will find that your prayers are not only more aligned with God's will, but they also carry the weight of divine authority. 1 John 5 verses 14 to 15 reassures us that when we ask by God's will, He listens intently and responds with generosity. If we know that God hears us, we can have absolute confidence that our requests will be granted. This is why prayers that align with His will are often answered more swiftly and with greater clarity. When you align your heart with God's purposes, you move in sync with His divine timing, ensuring that the answers to your prayers come when you are fully prepared to receive them. Moreover, God often uses specific training to prepare you for the blessings He has set aside for you. This training may come in the form of trials, difficult circumstances, or personal challenges that, although uncomfortable, are purposeful. Through these experiences, God is molding you, refining your character, and preparing you for the weight of the blessings He will entrust to you. He is not only preparing the answer to your prayer but also preparing you to handle it with grace, wisdom, and responsibility. God, as a loving and all-knowing Father, understands exactly what you need at each stage of your life. He knows when you are ready to receive His gifts and ensures that you have the strength, patience, and wisdom to manage them in a way that glorifies Him. As you journey through these stages of preparation, Take comfort in knowing that God is always at work, even behind the scenes. Every delay, every moment of waiting, is part of His masterful plan. He is lovingly ensuring that you are fully prepared for the blessings He is about to pour into your life. So, while you wait, trust in His timing and His perfect process. Be vigilant to the signs of His movement in your life. Continue to forgive, align your heart with His will, and remain open to the lessons and training He provides. Your breakthrough is coming, and when it does, you will find yourself more than equipped to embrace the fullness of what God has prepared for you. You will be ready, not only to receive the blessings but to steward them in a way that brings glory to His name. When you seek God's blessings, He first ensures that you can handle them. Think of it like a child asking for a car. They may desire it, but they're not yet mature enough to drive. Likewise, God will not give you what you are not ready for. If you find that you are in a season of waiting or training, this is God's way of preparing you for the blessings you have prayed for. He is making sure that you develop the wisdom, discipline, and character to handle what is coming. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Divine direction is often how God works in your life to build this capacity. If you notice a particular idea or action repeatedly coming to mind during your prayers, it might be God gently guiding you toward a specific path. This recurring thought could be the divine direction you need to start building the capacity for the breakthrough you seek. As God directs your steps, He makes sure that you are not only ready for the blessings but equipped to steward them well. During these times of training, God works on building character, specifically your self-discipline and control. If you are undisciplined, you may not manage God's blessings effectively when they arrive. Much of this training can feel uncomfortable, but it's essential. It's the difference between being an amateur and a professional. The more you submit to God's training, the better you will handle the blessings He's preparing for you. Through challenges, God stretches you and helps you take actions that align with the blessings He is preparing to give you. These actions, though stretching, build your capacity and refine you, just as pressure refines precious metals. Stewardship is another aspect of God's preparation. He places you under specific people and circumstances to help you learn responsibility, diligence, and accountability. These are vital skills for managing the blessings He will give you. Training helps you build expertise in areas that will allow you to manage your blessings effectively, ensuring you have the focus and diligence needed to maintain them. Like David, God may use trials to strengthen your faith, preparing you for the obstacles ahead. As you go through tough times, He is teaching you to trust Him in the small things so you can stand firm when the bigger challenges come. This is why your mindset and beliefs are so critical. God works on shaping your faith, just as He did with Abraham, so that you can continue believing and trusting in His promises, even when those promises seem delayed or the path is unclear. Obedience plays a crucial role in the preparation process. Often, God's answers come in the form of instructions. He might ask you to take specific actions that don't immediately make sense, but in these instructions lies the answer to your prayer. As you follow God's direction and walk in obedience, you demonstrate your readiness to receive the blessings He's prepared for you. When the Israelites faced the Red Sea with the Egyptian army in pursuit, God gave Moses a simple but powerful instruction. Tell the Israelites to move on. Raise your staff and stretch out your hand over the sea to divide the water. Exodus 14 verses 15 to 16, 21 to 22. In that instruction, the breakthrough was made clear. God's instructions are often linked to your breakthrough, and your willingness to obey them is a sign of your readiness. Through obedience, you build your trust in God and prove that you are prepared to receive the answers you've been praying for. When you obey God's voice, even in moments of uncertainty, you demonstrate your readiness for the blessings He is about to release into your life. So, as you go through your season of training and preparation, remember that every challenge, every stretch, and every instruction is a step closer to the breakthrough you've been praying for. Trust in God's timing and process, and know that when your breakthrough comes, you will be more than ready to receive it and steward it wisely. Then Moses, with unwavering faith, stretched out his hand over the vast expanse of the sea, and in an awe-inspiring display of divine power, the Lord sent a mighty east wind that surged throughout the night, parting the waters and transforming the seabed into dry land. The waters split apart like an obedient servant, creating towering walls of water on either side, and the Israelites walked through on the ground, their feet untouched by the water, their hearts filled with a divine sense of wonder and awe. Do you grasp the profound truth in how God directs your every step through His instructions? Understand this. Your next breakthrough, your next step toward the fulfillment of your destiny, depends entirely on your obedience to the instructions God lays before you. Before you question why your prayers seem unanswered, ask yourself, are you following the divine guidance that God has so graciously provided? When God seeks to open the floodgates of your blessings, He often leads you through processes, sometimes challenging, sometimes uncomfortable, yet always purposeful. These processes can take the form of divine instructions, sometimes demanding, other times gentle, but always essential. Your obedience to these instructions becomes the vital link between you and the answers you are fervently seeking. Your willingness to submit to God's will stands as the pivotal force that shapes the outcome of your prayers. Never forget, God's commands are never burdensome. He will never call you to something beyond your strength. In every command He gives, there is an impartation of strength, a divine empowerment to see it through. Your job is simply to trust Him and step out in faith, even when the path seems unclear, even when the instructions seem illogical to human understanding. Trust that God, in His infinite wisdom, has your best interests at heart. He will never guide you down a path that will not bring about the best possible outcome for you. So when His instructions come, embrace them with open arms. They are not burdens to bear but answers to the deepest longings of your heart. Furthermore, one of the most profound ways that God prepares you for the blessings He has promised is by drawing you ever closer to Himself. In His wisdom, He knows that true preparation comes not through material accumulation, but through the deepening of your relationship with Him. God stirs your heart, beckoning you to build intimacy with Him, not merely as a distant ruler but as a loving Father, desiring nothing more than to see you flourish in His presence. One thing God will never do is bless you in a way that pulls your heart away from Him. He will never grant you something that would cause you to lose your dependence on Him, for He knows that true fulfillment and peace are found only in Him. This is the reason why so many prayers seem to go unanswered, not because God is indifferent, but because He knows the intentions of the heart. He sees that some prayers, if answered too soon, would only lead to spiritual devastation, luring you away from the very source of your life. Therefore, He waits, tenderly working on your heart, until your motives align with His perfect will. God's way of entrusting you with His blessings always begins with a deeper relationship with Him. As He draws you closer, He strengthens you, molding you to be able to handle the magnificent blessings He has in store. This is a season of purification, a time when God works to cleanse your heart, ignite your passion for Him, and prepare you for the outpouring of blessings that will come. As He reveals His desires for your life, He shows you how His kingdom and your blessings are intricately linked. When God is preparing you, He doesn't just prepare your hands to receive blessings. He prepares your heart to steward them well. This may involve a season of cleansing where God separates you from those who cannot walk with you into the fullness of your destiny. He will cut off toxic relationships and remove people from your life who cannot support the manifestation of His purpose for you. Before God releases some of your most fervent prayers, He may require you to make painful but necessary changes to the people you associate with. You see, your blessings will often provoke envy in the hearts of those around you. Some will not be able to celebrate your success, but instead will seek to hinder or sabotage your progress. In His perfect love, God will remove them from your life before your blessings even arrive, sparing you from unnecessary harm and distraction. If you find yourself in a season of isolation, do not resist it. It may feel lonely, but understand that God's hand is at work, removing people who would detract from your purpose. Though you may not fully understand why certain relationships are being severed, trust that God sees beyond your understanding. He knows things that you cannot see. He knows what lies ahead, and His plans for you are good, always for your best. Trust in His divine guidance, and rest in the assurance that He is leading you along the path that is best suited for you, one step at a time. He will never fail you. You must constantly remind yourself, deep in your soul, that God's thoughts toward you are always good, unfailing, unwavering, and overflowing with love. In this sacred season, God begins to teach you, not through fleeting moments, but through the eternal wisdom of His Word. He beckons you to rest in the unshakable promises He has made, gently comforting you with a peace that passes understanding. This peace, a gift from Him, empowers you to hold on, even when the world seems to mock the very idea of waiting. In the tender place of intimacy with God, you will learn, not just to wait, but to wait with purpose, to wait in faith. Just like Abraham, who was not swayed by the lack of signs or tangible evidence of God's promises, you too will be equipped with the grace to wait with unwavering trust. Abraham, despite the silence and the seeming absence of God's fulfillment, clung to the intimacy he shared with the Lord. His faith was anchored in the unshakable truth that God is always faithful, because Abraham had spent enough time with God to know, with every fiber of his being, that God is a promise keeper. The Bible speaks of Abraham as the friend of God, a testament to the depth of the relationship he had cultivated with the Creator. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Through the deep and personal relationship Abraham had with God, he believed, even when all hope seemed lost. He believed against all odds that God would fulfill his promises. In this season of waiting, God is teaching you the same lesson: how to wait with faith, not just with empty hopes, but with a soul anchored in trust. He gives you the grace to turn your eyes away from the distractions of the world, away from all the alternatives that tempt your heart to doubt his goodness. In the quietness of your waiting, he whispers to your soul, "Focus on me. Keep your eyes on my promises, for I will never leave you nor forsake you." Every time you entertain another option, another solution apart from his divine plan, you are subtly saying that you do not trust him. You must hold firmly to his promises, reminding yourself of his faithfulness, not just in the past, but in the now. Your waiting is never in vain. Isaiah 40 verse 31 reminds us of this truth. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. God will fulfill his word, not because of the timing you expect, but because he is faithful. His promises are eternal, and he never fails those who trust him. Now that you are beginning to understand how God prepares you for the answers you seek, it is time to embrace the work he is doing in you during this sacred season. Do not resist the process of preparation, even when it seems difficult. For it is in these moments of refinement that your character is shaped, your faith strengthened, and your heart made ready to receive the blessings God has promised. If you fight against this preparation, you may find yourself unable to step into the fullness of the blessings you desire. In every moment of this process, keep your mind steadfast on God's promises. There will be times when the journey seems too long, too exhausting, and too challenging. But it is in these very moments that the Holy Spirit will rise within you to help you stand firm. Remember, he is your helper, your comforter, especially in times of weakness. He will help you maintain your obedience to God's instructions, even when it feels like the weight of the world is pressing against you. You are not alone in this. God is with you, leading you, strengthening you, and preparing you for the beautiful answers he is about to release into your life. As we come to the end of this powerful journey through God's preparation, I want to pause and ask you, what have you learned so far? Think about the insights that have resonated with you in this video. Is it the importance of trusting God's timing, or perhaps the lesson on obedience and waiting in faith? Now, I want to hear from you. In the comments below, share one thing you've learned today, and how you plan to bring it into your daily life. What action step will you take, starting today, to deepen your relationship with God and embrace his process for your life? If you found value in this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more insightful content like this. Let's continue this journey together, and as always, remember, you're never alone in this walk of faith. Thank you for being a part of our community.